Hey y'all, it's your favorite healing coach, Coach Kim the author, here with a quick word for your mind, body, and spirit. Welcome to my express webinar, Where the Healing Begins, How to Start Your Unloved Daughter Healing Journey. I'm going to try to keep this right at around 30-35 minutes. I know your time is valuable, and I also know what it's like to log into these webinars, and sometimes an hour, hour and a half, 2 hours is just way too much for some free information, no matter how good the information may be. So buckle up. I'm going to get through this. I don't want to say super fast, but like I said, I want you to get as much out of it as possible without having to give up all of your day. So, who am I? I am KLCSimmons, aka Coach Kim the author of Peace in the Process, Prayers, Affirmations, and Self-Care Strategies to help you navigate your hardest seasons, which I wrote in one of the hardest seasons of my life. Every prayer, every affirmation, every self-care strategy, as well as every motivation and devotional that's in the anniversary edition of this book in some way helped me during the hardest 8 months of my life. I'm not going to give too much of it away. It's in the book. I'm also the author of Girl, Get Your Glitter Back, a book that I can honestly say I really did not want to write, but I am moved by the instruction of the Holy Spirit. And this book is meant to help other women like me and possibly like you figure out where we let life take control and break us down, and how to get back to not only who we once were, but who we are meant to be. Both of those are available on Amazon. The Unloved Daughter Healing Journey is also available on Amazon, but you can find that on my website as part of the 40-day masterclass, whether you do the DIY or you join the ladies live once a week for the 6 weeks that they're in process. You will get a copy, get a digital download or a paperback version of that book. I am a life coach, an author, a speaker, a healer, a baker. Most importantly to you right now, I am an unloved daughter. I am also an elite healing coach whose main focus is coaching high-achieving Black women of faith who've managed to gain success but are still nursing a broken heart, trying unsuccessfully to grow up the little girl inside because no one has given you permission to first be sad about and then heal from the fact that your mom was your first heartbreak. And if you're in this training and you're listening to me thinking, I'm not a high-achieving woman, in the book of Judges in the Bible, Gideon told the angel of the Lord that he was the weakest in his family and that his family was the weakest in their tribe. And the angel looked him in the face and called him a mighty man of valor. He called him what God made him to be. I am speaking to who God made you to be, the very core of you, not what you see or think you are because of the unfortunate situation you're currently in. So, to all of my high-achieving women in the room, hey girl, you are exactly where you should be. But what is an unloved daughter? In case you haven't been following me on social media, never heard about me or what I do or what this is, an unloved daughter is a woman who knows unequivocally that her mom loves her. She also knows that the way that her mom has loved her, be it in word or action, left her somehow feeling unloved or even less than loved. An unloved daughter is a daughter who was mothered by a wounded daughter who was also wounded by her mother. because of the complexity and the complications in mother wounds, your mom having been wounded by your grandma, whether you saw it or not, because I didn't see it for a long time, there is a pattern, there is a cycle, unfortunately, because your mom didn't just get this way overnight. You didn't become the mom to your kids the way that you mother them overnight. The wounds of your grandmother showed up in your mom, and then the wounds of your mom showed up in you. And if you're anything like me, before I jumped on this 40-day healing journey, the wounds of my mom in me showed up in how I mothered my kids. Mother wounds can show up either as a mom who left you to be raised by someone else, or a mom who was there every day doing the best that she could and was still unable to fully be emotionally available and loving to you the way that you desired and deserved, because she simply didn't know how. As the daughters of these mothers who did their best and still mothered us wounded, we seek external validation, be it from teachers or bosses or partners or even friends. We strive for perfection and are unable to fully show up in our relationships, whether they're familial or romantic or platonic or even professional. We question and value who we are. Are we worthy? Are we deserving of the beauty that others try to give to us? We do everything that we can to give the love that we desire, still being unable to receive that love when it comes because we just don't know how. That's not the norm for us. And lastly, one of the hardest things that I found, we're unable to either set boundaries, or when we set them, we don't maintain them. Not because we don't think they're important, but because boundaries hurt people's feelings. And not everybody, but people who are used to getting over on you, for lack of a better way to say that. People who are used to doing whatever, saying whatever, treating you however, when you start healing and finding yourself and figuring out what you will and will not allow, and you start setting boundaries, those people that have been used to handling you a certain way feel like boundaries are some kind of punishment. They're not. Boundaries are protection for your heart, for your mind, and for the life that you really want to live. How does the unloved daughter differ from an unloved daughter? Well, an unloved daughter is who you and I happen to be, while the unloved daughter is the 40-day healing course that I created initially just for myself. I had no idea that this was going to become what it has become. I had no idea that it was going to blow up the way that it has, and certainly had no idea that it would help other women the way that it helped me. In 40 days, I was able to identify and heal from my mother wounds in a way that I created for you to be able to do the same, so that you can either parent from a healed place or heal to be the parent that you one day hope to be. We will create a healing vision, which is similar to, I guess, your modern day vision board, where you know where you want to live, and the house you want to buy, the car you want to drive. I believe in Habakkuk, I never know if I'm saying it right, the scripture that says, write the vision and make it plain. You have to see it before you see it. You have to believe it before you walk in it. So we will create a healing vision, what you believe your life should look like, so that you have something to strive for. In that 40 days, you will also learn how to show up for yourself first. It's like when you're on an airplane and they tell you make sure that if you're traveling with anyone who needs assistance, if God forbid the masks fall down from the ceiling and you need oxygen and someone else needs oxygen, to put your mask on first, because if you pass out, you cannot help anyone else that's traveling with you. You have to learn how to show up for you before you can show up for anyone else. You have to learn how to love on you before you can truly love anyone else. You have to learn how to be the you are meant to be so that you can level up your life, and those around you, those attached to you, can follow in your footsteps. Regina King is like one of my all-time favorite actresses. If I had to venture to say, she is like my girl crush. She's beautiful. She's a dynamic actress. She's just a powerhouse in every way, in my opinion. And one of the quotes that she said that I live by is that comfort zones are where dreams go to die. I've said before that healing is hard. I've since changed my thought process on that. Healing is not hard, but healing is not comfortable. If you have any desire whatsoever to heal and be the best version of yourself, be the truly authentic version of yourself that God created you to be, you are going to have to first get comfortable with being uncomfortable, because, baby, healing is going to take you places, both good and bad, that you never expected. But the end result will totally be worth the ride. So, what exactly is it that I teach? How do we get through this elusive 40-day healing journey and get to the woman that you know you're supposed to be? One of the first things I teach is unbecoming. Getting out of your own way by releasing the things that have led you to believe they're your personality, when in fact they were survival mechanisms that you picked up to just be able to live a life that looks like peace. May not really be peace. If it was, I don't think you'd be here. So we have to let those things go and learn a new way in order to get where we're supposed to be. We're going to learn forgiveness, the art of forgiveness, and the understanding that forgiveness, one, is for you, not the other person, and two, forgiveness does not mean absolution. Forgiving someone for the things that they did to you that they've never apologized for and may not even think that they're wrong for, it does not absolve them of the acts that they inflicted on you. What it does do is open you up to have a clearer perspective, which we also work on, as well as giving you the opportunity to have more capacity to give and receive love. And why is that important? Because if you've seen The Grinch, any version of The Grinch that's out there, The Grinch started off with this teeny tiny little heart that they said was two sizes too small, and then by the end of the movie, he had learned to love. He had learned to be a better, I don't want to say person because he's not really a person, but a better being, and his heart grew 3 sizes. His heart grew bigger than his heart was even supposed to be in the beginning. What if your heart is the size of the Grinch's new heart, and your mom's heart is the size of the Grinch's old heart? There's no way that she could have ever given you the love that you deserve. She can't even receive the love that you have been trying to give her, because in an unhealed state, you simply don't have the capacity to receive what you're not even sure you're worthy of having. So we focus on capacity. We also focus on mourning the relationship. And I have to be clear with this, because I've had clients who end their journey with me at the point of mourning the relationship with their mom, because I had one young lady tell me that she felt that God wanted her to one day restore her relationship with her mom, reconcile, and that mourning the relationship would not give her that opportunity. I didn't argue with her. I wished her well. I prayed for her. And then I made sure that I am clear in how I explain that mourning the relationship with your mom does not close the door to reconciliation or restoration if that's something that you and she want to visit. What mourning does is it allows us to see where we are. What is the reality of the relationship as it stands right now? Is this something we want to continue? Because if it was, we wouldn't be here. We wouldn't be even contemplating this 40-day healing journey. If the relationship that you have with your mom is not something you want to take into your future, you have to first let go of the fantasy that you built in your own mind. Let go of the mom that you wanted that you never had, and see her for who she is. See the relationship for what it's always been, so that you can let that go, lay that to rest, and start fresh. Start with a clean slate. Start from ground zero and build what it is you both have maybe always wanted and truly deserve. That way, as you transform into who you were always meant to be, the relationship, the new relationship, will grow with you as well. So, in my coaching tactic, strategy, I'm not even really sure what to call it. I teach or I coach through what I call the 3 E's: enlightenment, encouragement, and empowerment. I enlighten women how to move past the stigma associated with the limiting beliefs caused by the unexplained or under-examined scripture, honor thy mother and father. I also encourage women to know that there is no condemnation of the choices that have been made while you were simply trying to survive a life rooted in a trauma either you didn't understand or may not even know existed. And finally, I empower women to strip away the burden of a false mother-daughter identity and heal what has been hushed to get to your authentic nature and begin living the full life you truly deserve. So how do we do this? We first have to start by owning our truth. Owning that we've been hurt. We've been heartbroken by the one person we believe never would and maybe never should have hurt us. But that is our truth. We own that, and after owning that, we seek assistance from outside sources like this masterclass, this webinar, my course or courses, as well as the one-on-one coaching that I offer, because you can't do it alone. Not only can you not do it alone, you have to know that you aren't alone. I didn't know for so long when I was on my journey how many other women out here are like me, have been, struggling with this truth, hiding it and holding back on the true nature of the life that we deserve because we didn't know what to do. We didn't know how to heal. We didn't even know we needed to heal. And once we determine that we do need to heal, we then have to be willing to do the work, both alone and with like-minded other women. You don't have to have that bonding, but I know it was something that I truly missed out on when I was healing. I believe that there's no shame in healing or in the experiences that we have to heal from, but when you can do it with other people, because there's a whole lot of work that you have to do by yourself. But if you have that bonding experience, that I don't want to say attachment, but you have someone else who understands where you're coming from and what you've been through, it can make the journey that much smoother. Because even though I promote healing in private because of the shame, because of the stigma attached, You can also do it with the help and the love of other women like you who also believe that they don't need anyone else's permission or participation to heal and get to their best life. My program is specifically designed for you to heal without your mom or your grandma or your siblings or your friends or anybody else knowing that this is what you're working on, because life is loud and people are judgy and they, want to know what you're doing and they want to insert their unsolicited opinions and advice, and it can derail or at the very least deter you from doing what it is you want to do for you, which is heal. So my course is specifically designed to be able to do that by yourself and then simply emerge totally different 40 days later. Now, the quick tips to healing, to starting your healing, to walk away from this webinar today able to actually start healing. Accept your reality. Accept that you were heartbroken by your mom. Accept that you, even if you don't want to call yourself an unloved daughter, accept that this is where you are. Know that your experiences and your feelings about those experiences are absolutely valid. Whether you share them with other people, whether those people understand or not, they're yours, they're valid, and they deserve honor. Once you do that, begin to unbecome the things that have held you back. Unbecome the bad attitude. Unbecome the emotional eating. Unbecome the sucking it up and getting over it that you've been doing all this time that's left you still empty in certain places. And understand that in doing that, you have to forgive. You have to forgive yourself for the things that you didn't know, for the things that you did because you didn't realize why you were doing it, as well as forgiving those who participated, be it directly or indirectly, in the process of you becoming heartbroken. And most importantly, creating self-care practices to help you through the harder moments, the triggering moments. Because I've learned that triggering or being triggered doesn't say that you aren't healing or that you haven't healed. It simply says, okay, this is still here. Let me take a step back and look at this and figure out why this is here. Peel back the layers of that onion and go to work on what it is that's really tugging at your heart, and then step by step, one layer at a time, address those issues, honor those issues, and unbecome whatever is there that has left you feeling triggered. So next time you'll know, okay, I resolved that. There's no need, for it. You won't even realize that what once triggered you doesn't trigger you anymore because you've done the work to heal past that. So here are just a couple of, I guess, the top frequently asked questions that I get. Did I really heal all of my life's heartbreak in only 40 days? Now, I'd love to say yes, but I'm not going to lie. Ain't no way I healed almost 40 years of heartbreak in 40 days. What I did do was I got clear on why I was feeling the way I was feeling, why the joy in my family and my husband and my kids aggravated me so much. I got clear on what was holding me back. I got clear on why I was letting it hold me back. I got clear on loving me, on being worthy of the love that I give everybody else. I got clear on why I was giving so much love and being unable to receive it fully in return. 40 days was longer than I thought and was shorter than I thought. Once I got on the other side of it and started to see myself and value myself the way that I should have been doing all along, the way that I could have been doing had I not had something of this magnitude that I had to heal from. If you don't know, if you're an unloved daughter, you can go to my website. I think the link will come up here shortly. Click on Am I an Unloved Daughter? I believe is what it's actually called. It'll take you to the page. You can download the free digital that gives a whole lot more detail on what an unloved daughter can look like, how you can show up, so that you can determine if, even if you don't want to call yourself that, because it was hard for me to get to that term. It took about 2 years for me to actually say that I am an unloved daughter. But the download will help you identify whether or not this program is for you. Same with this question. Is my course for you? Who is it for? Ideally, it's for women I identify with, Black women who are 35 to 65 years old, who realize that for all of the love that they have for their mom, for all of what she did for them physically and materially, making sure that if she had to work 2 or 3 jobs, the lights stayed on, food was on the table, you had new clothes for first day of school, there's still some emotional detachment there, and maybe a whole lot of deeper traumatic experiences there as well. But again, the Am I an Unloved Daughter digital download, totally free on my website, will give you an insight as to whether or not this is a course for you. So hopefully you downloaded the attached worksheet when you signed up for this webinar. If you did not, I think there is a separate link where you can download just the worksheet. Just jump back on my website, and it's either called the Unloved Daughter worksheet or webinar worksheet. I think it's the only worksheet on my Linktree link. So click that and download your worksheet. It's 3 pages of helping you identify what you want your best life to look like. It helps you to basically start your healing vision. It asks you which of the unloved qualities you identify with, either the ones that we spoke about earlier on in the webinar, or download the Am I an Unloved Daughter digital and pick out which of those qualities you identify with. It also asks you, what does your life look and feel like today as a result of those unloved qualities? And then what do you want the best healed version of your life to look like? What are the first 3 things that come to mind when you think of what you need to unbecome to get to that version of yourself? Who is someone, and I won't say other than your mom, but other than your mom, mom comes to mind first. Who is someone that you need to forgive, and why? And I won't say most importantly, but something to think about going forward in this process. Are you willing and able to mourn the relationship that you have with your mom? Not the relationship that you want, not the relationship you hope will occur once you've gone through this healing process, but the relationship that has got you here, the relationship that's left you wounded, that's left you heartbroken. Are you able to say, you know what, I'm willing to lay that down, lay it aside, release everything that goes along with that, and give my mom the opportunity to start fresh with me? And then on the, I think it's the 3rd page of the worksheet, it is the beginnings of your healing vision. It asks you to fill in basically who you see yourself as in your best healed life. What do you drive? Where do you work? What are your hobbies? Where do you live? Who are the important people in your life while you are living as the best version of you? Because sometimes, a lot of times, I hate to say, but everyone that we love, everyone that has been in our life thus far, can't go with us. A lot of people, unfortunately, we're attracted to, or as my coach would say, relationships are mirrors. So when you're in a state of brokenness, you're in a state of pain, you're in a state of even wanting to heal, there are parts of you, it's like a trauma bond. Even if you don't realize that you share the same traumatic experiences, there's things that are in you that are attractive to people in your life. And as you heal those things and move forward, you're no longer attracted to those people and they're no longer attracted to you. So the relationships begin to dwindle. Some are totally ended, and that's okay. Who are the people that you believe will be there with you as you heal, as you grow, as you get better? Those are the people that you want to focus on, the ones who you know will love you no matter what. So, oh my gosh, we got through that like super fast. I'm so proud of myself. I'm not sure if we're at 30 minutes. I think we might be like right at 30 minutes. This is so awesome. I really wasn't sure I was going to be able to do that. But I thank you so much for joining me. Hopefully I didn't go too fast and I gave you a lot of good information. Not next week. May 8th, Sunday, May 8th, we start our next session of the Unloved Daughter live masterclass, where we will meet in the Zoom room for 42 days, not every day. We will meet weekly for, is that 6 weeks? I think it's 6 weeks. To go over your healing journey. There's several topics that we'll discuss. There's a VIP option for Q&A after each weekly session. Jump on my website and click on the Unloved Daughter Masterclass. When you add the masterclass to your cart, be sure to use code ZOOM to get $50 off of the masterclass total price as a thank you for you being here with me today and getting all this good information. I so appreciate you. The Unloved Daughter, or Am I an Unloved Daughter, should answer a lot of your questions, if not all of your questions, prior to the masterclass. If you have any more questions, feel free to jump on Instagram and DM me at CoachKimTheAuthor with your masterclass specific questions or your Unloved Daughter specific questions if you want to know if this program really is for you. Thank you, and enjoy the rest of your night.